Today, it's going to be a big topic. We're talking about the Luciferian system, the belief system, satanic belief system, what they actually believe in, why they're doing what they're doing. We're going to talk about LOOSH. We're talking about the dark force in general, the big picture, why it exists, why it is here. We're talking about the third dimension. We're talking about ascension. Let's get to it. For 2 weeks now, every single day I've been wanting to do a video. Every single day something else happened. I've been super busy with a lot of things. There were a lot of ups, a lot of downs. We are currently getting bombarded with energies, solar energies, the Schumann resonance. There was an hour long, 9 hours, I believe, a blackout of the Schumann resonance. There were solar flares, CMEs. We've been really getting bombarded with a lot of stuff. And 2 nights ago, I actually woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I went through a panic attack. I do not have these anymore. I developed them back in the day. Haven't had them in a long time. In 4 or 5 years I've had one out of nowhere. It was absolutely crazy. I didn't know what was happening. I worked through it, and usually the next day is really difficult because you're worried that it's coming back, which is kind of bringing it back in a way. And so I seem to have worked through it super quickly. Actually, the night off, I seem to have transformed it, released it. It's done. I'm not exactly sure what on earth happened, why it happened, and it was so intense. It was probably one of the most intense panic attacks I've had so far, but it's gone now. Last night I slept fantastic, like a baby. I've been working out, I've been eating right. Everything's good. So I'm back. So let's do this. A lot of people within the community are mentioning the satanic or the Luciferian belief system, but not a lot of people within the community know exactly what it is, where it comes from, why it's there, what they actually believe, what their behavior is based on, what they're after, what their goals are. We're going to go into detail about all of these topics. We're also talking about the LOOSH. We are talking another term that probably most of you have heard about, but of course there are a lot of people that are still new to this whole topic of ascension, awakening, the dark forces, the evil, satanic, Luciferian belief. So we're going through all of this in detail. We're also talking about the third dimension. We're talking about the dark force in general, why it's existing, why it's allowed to exist, where it exists, and we need to shine light on these topics. Too many and for too long hear these topics and instantly they look away, they run away. And again, that kind of behavior is based on fear, and this is the exact behavior that we need to transform into something positive, meaning we need to shine light onto these topics. We need to go into detail. We need to understand. Of course, studying the enemy is most important. We need to understand why these things were allowed to exist for so long, how they could exist in general, and what we can do to take away their habitat. People within this satanic Luciferian belief system, they do believe in good and evil. They do believe in black and white. For them, Lucifer is a symbol of enlightenment, and enlightenment is their goal. This is actually what they're going for. That's what they're striving for. It's enlightenment. It's very different from the way we are getting there. They don't believe in God. Now, there are several branches of this, of the Luciferian belief system. the satanic belief system. Some of them, for example, do see Lucifer as a kind of God, but they do not believe in our God. They do not believe in eternal punishment, which again, I don't believe in either, but for very different reasons. In order for them to achieve enlightenment in their belief, they think one must fully embrace and experience and appreciate both sides of good and evil. They must fully embrace both sides, both extremes equally, which already explains so much to us who are not connected to this in any way. For us, it's illogical, completely illogical to torture and hurt and get hurt and appreciate this, right? It's completely illogical. Now, for them, it's literally necessary in their belief in order to achieve enlightenment. That means they must be as good as possible as well as evil as possible. That means they want to go through all the good things as well as through all of the bad things and evil things and unspeakable things. This is where all of this comes from. Within all of these bloodlines and these families and these groups, now understanding this main concept, we can start to understand why these people do all of the torturing, the brainwashing, within these families, these bloodlines, these groups. They're grooming these children, they're programming, brainwashing, MK Ultra, I mean full on from birth on. They're making them go through the most horrible things, basically in order to strengthen them, to make them more resistant to torture, to all of these horrible things. They believe the more torture they go through, the stronger they get, the easier they can get through this process of the extreme of evil and the extreme of good. Now, another topic here to talk about would be that some of them are literally so deeply programmed. They can go out in public, let's say they're a figure within the media and Hollywood, for example. They can go out there, talk completely like you and I, completely normal, like nothing ever happened, out of our regular ordinary, because they simply do not remember. They're completely programmed. They cannot recall any of the things that they did, that they went through. They're either completely blocked from their consciousness, from their regular life, or they're so traumatized that these things are literally like they've never happened. So it can be both. They can be both ways, or it can be even both at once. That means they're going through these unspeakable childhoods and traumatizing events in their lives, and these horrible rituals and all the things that we usually really do not want to think about or talk about, but they're completely suppressed from their regular all-day lives, from every time they show their faces on camera or in pictures or talk to people, give interviews, whatever. A lot of the times these people literally do not know this side of their existence. Not to mention the people that do know a lot of the things, that do remember these things, that are part of this, but they're completely blackmailed. I mean, a lot of them are really just trying to get through their days without getting killed or having their families killed. Now, within these topics, there are a lot of things that we can still talk about at a later time. There are a lot of specifics about all of this, because many people within the media, right, people that are well known worldwide, let's say actors within the music business, whatever, there are a lot of people that are aware, that are blackmailed, that literally sold their soul. They know what they did, and they do believe that they have to go through all of this horrible, evil stuff and all of these great things in order to achieve enlightenment. And they truly believe all of this. But at the same time, they had to see so many horrible, traumatizing things, and they're really being threatened with having the people that they really love, their families, their children, their best friends, their partners, they are being threatened with seeing those people, being forced to see these people being tortured to death. I mean, these truths are out there, and I believe it's important to understand the full picture of this topic here, because you cannot just say, oh my God, these are evil, these, how could anyone. We're talking about this topic because we want to understand how this whole system, how their system works, what all of this is based on, why they do what they do, how they're capable of these things. So this topic is a big topic, and we will talk about this at another time. I just wanted to mention this real quick in order for us to get a better understanding of what is going on within their circles. So the reason why they put their offspring through all of this unspeakable pain and all of these experiences is they literally think they're doing something good for them to achieve enlightenment. An important part of their belief system is duality. It is all about duality. This is why it's so important for them to fully experience, achieve, and appreciate both extremes. Now, for someone like us, for someone like me, it is completely illogical having to go through these things the way they do, because I believe in karma. I believe what you put out there is what comes back to you. And I also believe that currently this process of ascension and this great awakening is a process of the resurfacing of all of the karma collectively, everything that has been not worked through yet, we're working through the collective karma of everything that ever was, of everything that's left over within our world, within the realm of existence here in this 3D reality. This is why I believe all of this is resurfacing right now. Everything crazy is coming up, popping up here and there, politically in the world, the countries, the suffering, the oh my God, this really happened. Oh my God, we hear more horrible stories about this. Everybody's having a really hard time. And let's not mention that it seems a lot of people have to deal with deaths within their circle of friends or family. Basically, all of this accumulated karma worldwide, collectively, of all time, everything that has not been worked through, that still needs to be released, is being worked through right now, and we're transforming it. That is part of why people like us need to be here. Light workers, starseeds, every one of God's army. We're all here to do this collectively, and it is hard. And this is also part of the why holding the frequency of love and unity is so extremely difficult at times. We are literally standing in a storm, and we're holding the line, we're holding the grid, the light grid, the worldwide light warrior light grid, this frequency. We're standing in the storm. Again, I believe that the end of the year is where we're going to hit this climax and this turning point, where people collectively are going to wake up, even the ones that are really still seem to be deep asleep, the ones who went with and called us crazy or, you know, conspiracy theorists or whatever. Those are the ones that are also going to wake up. The destruction of the old, again, is really what it is. It has to fall apart. In order for the new to be birthed and created, the old absolutely needs to completely collapse and fall apart. I do have reason to believe that everything is not going to be as chaotic as some of us may believe it has to be. I think the things can turn out much, much better than we currently could imagine. But that's a topic for another video. Anyhow, I just wanted to mention these things because it is really important to understand where they're coming from. These Luciferian, satanic, psychopathic mindsets. This is what they are. There's a reason why they believe what they believe, why they do what they do, and it's really important to understand this. It's really important to shine light on this really important topic, because this is just a topic that too many of us are running away from, which again is exactly what they want, because this is us behaving out of fear, and this is exactly what we need to let go of. It is important that we really understand on a deeper level that there's nothing they can do to stop us. Fear is what gives them a habitat, and we're going to get into this topic here in just a moment. But we are wearing God's armor. We are here for this very reason. There is nothing they can do to us if we don't let them. The habitat that they need is in our minds. It is something that we, through our free will, give. So we give them permission to exist. Now, a lot of these topics sound very esoteric, sound very hippy-dippy, lovey-dovey, kind of tra-la-la, everything is unicorns and rainbows. That's not it at all. But when we do understand, and again, I'm going into detail about this in just a moment, when we do understand that there's nothing solid, that everything truly is frequency, energy, and vibration, that solid is an illusion, then we can begin to understand that the frequencies are what are so important. The frequencies we live within, exist within, emit, create, put out there in the universe and into the world into this realm that we're existing within, that we are breaking out of, that we're ascending from, then we can truly understand that it really is about us and within. There is nothing you can do about the outside, about the illusion out there, unless you fix it within. You are the co-creator of this reality. You are creating what's outside of yourself. We collectively co-create our reality. That means if you don't go within, if you don't do the work within, which is that dark night of the soul, this all of the pain, all of the old that was swept under a rug and that we just try to get away from, that we're looking away from, that we're running away from, that we have nightmares about, that we are fearful of, that we just try to avoid, the subconscious stuff that we need to go through and work through and transform and release. If we do not do that work, if we don't go within, we are not able to change anything on the outside. Those esoteric teachings, those esoteric hippy-dippy, lovey-dovey sounding things in this area are true. There is no such thing as solid. It is an illusion. Everything outside of us, everything that we think is outside of us, everything that we see, everything that we can sense and our brains can translate to us in some sort of understanding what's going on around us. We see 1%. The visible light spectrum for us, for our human brain, is 1% of what's on the outside. 1%. The solid state is an illusion. There is no such thing. We are in a matrix, and that is to be taken literally in our physical world as well as in our mind. It is a matrix. It is a simulation. It is an illusion. Now let's get back to the Luciferian satanic psychopathic mindset to connect this. It is said, there's statistics out there, which we love so much, that there's 1% of the population, 1% of us are psychopaths. Their frontal lobes do not work the proper way. They're basically inactive. You can look into this topic, psychopath, brain, waves, what's working, what's not working. So the main thing there is that they can physically not feel emotions like sympathy and empathy. They are incapable of these feelings and of these emotions. Let's say there are 7 or 8 billion people on this planet. Let's just say those are the numbers. If 1% are possible psychopaths with a psychopathic mindset, that means that there are 70 to 80 million possible psychopaths out there on this planet existing within humanity. Now, even if they're not the worst kind, because there are also different states, and feel free to read about this, and there's a lot of, it's actually very interesting, but make sure you read up. But let's just say that there's a possibility of those numbers of 70 to 80 million people with psychopathic minds out there. And even if the number is way below that, that still means that these people are out there. Obviously, there's people out there, but I don't think many are aware of those numbers. And now let's say these people, with all the advanced technologies and everything that they have, they somehow connected, let's say the majority of those people. Or these are the people that these groups and so-called elite rings and groups and families and bloodlines, either they take them in, promise them everything, money, fame, whatever. Those are just the numbers of those psychopaths. Now let's add in those families that are programming and just completely brainwashing all of these within these families. I mean, they can just be regular, normal people. They could have been regular, normal people if they weren't born into these families. That just gives you an understanding of this network, this possible network, those numbers that could be out there that are supporting this whole system of them, this psychopathic, Luciferian system. And of course, this is something, this belief system, this of course resonates with the psychopathic mindset. So this just gives us an understanding of the possible naturally occurring amounts of these people with these tendencies. And again, if we go back to these the people who are born into these families, into these elite rings, these people who are secretly controlling the world with the belief that everything needs to be extreme here and extreme there, and you need to appreciate all of this, and everything needs to be lived through in the fullest, and just with their mindsets. You add those psychopaths that are naturally occurring to the ones who are born into these things, who are completely programmed, who don't know anything else. This is normal to them. And then you think about their ways of thinking and how much of a thrill and rush it is for all of these people to be together and secretly have all of this knowledge, this ancient sacred knowledge, and guarding all of this wisdom, and having all of these secret technologies, having all the money in the world, all the power, are connected to these beings and entities, off-world beings and dark ETs, and have all of this knowledge of those rituals, and can call in these entities, and they have these drugs and psychedelic induced orgies and performing all of these rituals, and think that this is truly what they need to be doing in order to achieve enlightenment. I mean, think about the bond. I mean, it's like out of the movies. It really is. These people, not only do they have this pressure of, hey, if you don't do this, you get killed. If we really start to understand that they're really after these extremes, the extreme highs, the extreme lows, the extreme good, the extreme evil, alongside the brainwashing and the programming, alongside the worship and the fame and the power and the sacred knowledge and the wisdom and the connection to off-world beings and entities, and truly believing that they're ruling the world and that they're in control of everything and that they are gods themselves. This gives us a chance, a glimpse of what their world looks like, what they believe, what they're completely 100% immersed in. The sense of power, the sense of being better and higher than all of the rest. The ones who are clueless, don't know what's going on, the ones who enable them to be where they are, the ones who give off the LOOSH for their higher beings that they're serving. that they're connected to. This kind of knowledge gives us a slight understanding of what's actually going on there. Just connect that to the reality of their wealth, of their unimaginable goods and control and everything that they have. It gives us a chance of understanding what all of this is about, why they do what they're doing. So, of course, someone like us, it's a different way of thinking. Like, the reality for them is not at all the reality. Now that we have a basic understanding of why these things are happening, why they're doing what they're doing, the motive behind their behavior and their belief system, we can talk about the LOOSH. From everything that I've been finding out about this topic, these people, these groups, these families, these bloodlines do worship and work with, serve these off-world beings, these negative beings, ET groups, which also serve another big entity, but that's a whole nother topic. Most of us have heard about LOOSH, the term. Most of us know, okay, so this is the kind of energy that these beings feed off, right? Which is fear-based. When we go back, though, to what I said before about the frequencies, everything in existence is made of frequency, vibration, made of energy. Everything is a frequency. So when we look at this LOOSH, of what it truly is, what it actually is, it is a frequency that these low frequency beings feed off. When we go back to the question of the dark force, why it exists and how it exists, then the LOOSH makes a whole lot more sense and can be understood much better. Let's go back to this topic. Nothing is solid. There is nothing in existence that's actually solid. That is an illusion of our senses. So this table here, it is actually not solid. It sounds like it is, it feels like it is, but the only thing that makes it solid are our senses translated to our brain. On the smallest, most quantum level, everything is moving. Everything is frequency, everything is energy, everything is vibration. This is another topic that we can go into and talk about for hours and days and weeks even. So when everything literally is an illusion and a matrix, we are experiencing our world, this reality, this realm, through our extremely limited senses. Our senses really are what our body has available and what our brain then translates for us into something that makes sense within this realm, within this reality. Though there's only 1% of what's around us that we can see. So when we then realize how truly limited we are within this vessel, within this realm, we can start to see that when people talk of sensing something, things like clairvoyance and clairsentience and all of this stuff, that they are probably talking about something that really happened. Because the possibilities of sensing something out there other than what we're used to by doing things like meditation and really going within and being healthy and nurturing ourselves, our bodies, our mind. We should take these things seriously. And then, of course, the next thing that this brings us to, the next topic, is why? Why are we so limited? What is it about the state that we live within, this reality that we live within, this third dimension, this world, our bodies? Why are we this limited? What is the reason? Why are we not allowed to see all of it? Or at least a little more. If it's just 1%, why are we not able to sense these things? What is up with all of the people that are saying that they can sense different things? Do they seem so crazy now? If we only get to see with our human eyes 1% of what's around us, what we live within, what we exist within, do they seem so crazy now? When I tell you that I'm starting to experience things like telepathy, I am. That certain terms come to mind when I talk to someone that that person says right there, right then, that are so specific that there's no possible explanation for me just getting this term or image or face or specific word in my mind, out of nowhere, seconds before the other person that I'm talking to at the moment says that. Something so specific that there's absolutely no doubt that this was because this person was about to talk about it, because this person had it on their mind. Do I seem so crazy? What if, with this bombardment of solar energy, solar activity, frequencies, light going into our DNA, upgrading us from the inside, our brains, our DNA, our entire energetic being, would it be so crazy to think that we're right now developing all of these senses and that these senses become normal because this is just part of our evolutionary journey? It is completely natural. Now, the reason why we're not able to right now, that's a whole nother big topic, because there are a lot of outside influences that could have made that happen intentionally. Most likely, and we'll talk about this at another time. Why do you think that the ones safely within this reality only believe what they can see with their human eyes? What they can feel with their own hands, with their own skin, what they can hear with their own ears. They're safe in this realm. They are boxed in. They're separated from everything on the outside, and this is where they feel safe, because this realm, this state of existence, this world, 3D world, is based on these frequencies, lower frequencies of fear, of anger, of separation. It is built for and by that frequency. Letting go of this frequency means that you let go of everything you knew, everything you know, everything this reality was built upon, everything that was forced into your head and into your mind. You were forced to believe and accept and just go with it. Limitations, just go with it. you're having a dream and that happens later, or you have some weird feeling, a gut feeling. It's just coincidence, right? There's just a whole bunch of junk DNA in you. This is not good for anything. Who knows? Whatever. Junk. Right? You think you're sensing some kind of other people, frequencies. You can read the room. You read the energies of people. Oh, you're crazy. Right? It is safe. They feel safe within their compartmentalized, structured, fear-based reality within the separation. Oh, forget about that. Nah, this is nonsense, complete nutcase over there. Do not listen to these people. They're crazy. Conspiracy theorists. Right? Only 1% of the light spectrum around us is visible to us, to our human eye. 1%. Take this in. Really sit with it for a moment and understand what this means. That means that the majority around us, we cannot see. We cannot sense. And by senses, I mean the officially accepted senses like sight, smell, taste. It's a fractal of what is reality, what is around us, what is within us. That means that the trend of what's about to be explored is upward. Now let's get back to the topic of our evolutionary journey. That means that this is meant to happen. This is part of our evolutionary journey. We are the way makers. We are paving the way. We are the forerunners. We are the ones who sense things before the masses are able to. We knew these things because we are aware, we can sense. Now, a lot of us can't really put the things together. It doesn't all make sense. It is not one big picture yet. There's a little part here, a little part there. This makes sense. But adding in the pieces in between those parts of the puzzle, that is what it is about now. And that's what I'm trying to help you with. That's why I believe I'm here. That's what I'm supposed to do. And I'm not supposed to tell you this is how it is and that's how it is. I'm trying to help you. Oh, maybe we can put those topics together. Maybe they do fit together pretty well, even though it didn't look like it at the beginning. Oh, maybe this stuff, it really is not just a bunch of BS. Maybe this is not just esoteric nonsense, new age BS, right? Maybe there's truth to all of these things. Maybe you can put them together in a different way that you may have not thought of before. So let's get back to the topic of the LOOSH. As we now know, I'm sure most of you knew before, everything is made of frequency. Everything exists within and because of frequency, is frequency, energy, vibration. So when we think of LOOSH, of course, as a frequency, which it is, just like everything else in existence. What is existence? Then we can start to understand what they're really feeding off. They're feeding off a frequency that means they exist because of this frequency. So let's say the dark force Let's call all of this, everything bad, everything evil, the opposite, if you want to call it that, of God, of light, of love, of unity, of consciousness, awareness, the light. We call it, let's call it dark, a dark force, all in one. It feeds off LOOSH. LOOSH, therefore, must be a frequency. That means the only way the dark force can exist is because of that specific frequency. Now, the frequency that I'm talking about, of course, is a low frequency, because as we know, high frequency equals light, awareness, a wider awareness. That means that frequency is what lets them exist. That means they can only exist within that frequency. That frequency, of course, is the frequency of fear, of hate, of anger, of separation, of lack. That frequency is their habitat. It's the habitat of the dark force. Everything that we would sum up as such. That means the only way they can exist within that habitat is if that habitat is there for them to exist within. Now let's go back to something that I've talked about several times before in my videos. We are co-creators. The frequencies that we exist within are the frequencies that we put out there. Everything that we emit, everything that we put out there in the universe, into our reality, into existence, everything that we allow through free will. And most of you know, free will is the most important law in the universe, in existence. No matter in what reality, in what dimension, in what realm, it doesn't matter. Free will is the most important law of the universe, which, by the way, they know, they are aware of. They're very, very sneaky when it comes to using our free will against us. They know they have to abide this law of free will. So that means that this concept of the dark making it possible, enabling growth and expansion of awareness. That means that this is also happening within our realm of existence, within this dimension. That means it is necessary for evolving into something higher. As within, so without can be taken literally and figuratively at the same time. Everything on the inside is a reflection of the outside, and vice versa. As above, so below. When we say, go within, that's what we're talking about. We are truly getting rid of the habitat only within. Us emitting this frequency and putting it out there in the world, this anger, this hate towards whoever did something wrong. Yes, I'm talking about them too. It gives them a habitat to exist. They want that. All of this anger that's being generated in this time of discovery, uncovering, bringing the dark to light, the anger these humanity goes through. Oh yeah, hang them, get rid of them, kill them. They deserve it. What do you think that kind of behavior, those kinds of thoughts, this kind of frequency, what does it do? It feeds them. The discovery of all of this evil, what's going to be happening within our mass consciousness in these next few months, the anger, the hate, the fear, it gives them such a boost. We could barely try to grasp the amount of LOOSH they're going to be feeding off of. Within our community, so many are so angry and fearful and aggressive and hateful. They're feeding them, literally. The whole love and light, that's what it is. It is defeating this enemy that we're talking about. The enemy that we're giving habitat to. We're literally feeding the enemy with anger and hate. Awareness is what it is about. A state of balance, of love, of unity. The frequency is what we need to choose. It is about going within. We need to go within. We need to starve them. We're literally starving them by emitting a frequency of love, unity, awareness, and truth. This dark energy, this dark force, our enemy, Satan, Lucifer, the Antichrist, the dark devil, whatever you want to call it. It's all in here. The outside, nothing is solid. None of it is. It's frequencies, it's energies, it's vibrations. It's an illusion. To defeat the nemesis, we can look again, which I did a video on before as well. Look at the hero's journey. The nemesis is usually the hero's flaws. The hero is literally fighting against their flaws. It is the hero fighting against himself, the flaws. Which, if you look at a big picture, that's exactly what it is. Satan, the Antichrist, Lucifer, all of this. It's a summary of our flaws. It's a low frequency that we want to level up from. We want to get to a high frequency. We want to get to the next dimension, to a wider awareness, to a deeper understanding, back to love, back to source. That is only possible when we defeat the nemesis within, which is a low frequency, a low vibration, which is the habitat for the dark force. It is a huge topic to wrap your mind around. And I've been doing this for about 20-25 years now. I can feel that we're at the tipping point. I can sense it, and not in the conventional way. I know it. I have a deep knowing of what's happening right now, of what we're going through, of what we're experiencing. And this knowing is just getting stronger. the urge to do my part and get through this and fight through this and do it is getting stronger every single day. I am completely unstoppable when it comes to this topic, to us breaking free. I've never felt this dedicated, this strong. And honestly, it's funny, we've never met physically. I've never been around mostly any of you. But this deep connection is amazing. And the reason why is because we are all feeling, sensing, we're all knowing the same thing. It's truth. We know what's going on within. The call just gets louder and louder every single day. It is all about mastering yourself. Go within. Master yourself within. It is easy to live in a reality based on separation. But when we truly understand that everything is, in fact, frequency, vibration, energy, then we can also understand that we are responsible and are creating everything around us, everything in our mind, everything within our body. Our body. We are creating all of it. And that's why I would like to add one more thing. The power and the law of free will is of utmost importance. And when I say you don't even realize, we don't even realize how powerful we truly are, it's because of this topic. You can do anything. Anything. You're capable of doing anything. Anything you can imagine, you can do. It is possible. The things that are about to unfold, the things that we're waking up to, and the things that we're tapping back into, they're so beautiful and beautifully mind-blowing. The things I've experienced for many years, but especially within this last year, 2 years, what we are preparing ourselves for right now, what we are getting prepared for right now, it will be nothing short of amazing, mind-blowing. We'll be capable of all the things that we could only dream of. They fear the day that you wake up to your true power. This is what's being talked about. This is what they mean. This is what we mean. Our power is beyond anything we can currently imagine. Literally. You are so powerful, and they know this. They're using this against us. They are creating the reality that they want to create by hijacking your free will. Everything low frequency out there is what we need to get rid of, that we are getting rid of. Low frequency foods, anything we put in or on our bodies, anything in our minds, anything that we feed our minds with, TV, anything, surroundings, people, newspapers, media in general, anything, get rid of it. Make it clear cut. Clear cut. We need to be aware of what we are creating, of how truly powerful we are. Any kind of feeding low frequencies is automatically feeding what we want to get rid of. You get angry at them, that's what they want. You get fearful of anything, that's what they want. You limit yourself with your beliefs, with your fears, with anger, with imagination, any kind of limit, any kind of fear to go beyond anything is what they want. It feeds them. The energy that they live within, the frequency that they exist within. We can starve them, literally starve them. They will cease to exist. It will be gone, all of it. Going within is so much more than just going within. Going within is defeating the nemesis. Clearing and cleansing everything within your body and within your mind is what all of this is about. Getting rid, letting go, ascending from these low frequencies is what we are doing. That is ascension. That is the Great Awakening. It's not just uncovering the lies and the horrible things that they've done. It is letting go. It is transforming. Any kind of experience, any kind of knowledge needs to be transformed into something positive and of benefit for us, for humanity, for the collective consciousness, for ascension. This is why we're here. It is all about frequency. The name that I chose for this channel, for my platform, Raising Our Frequency, I chose for a reason. This is the only thing that is important at this moment in time. You can get angry at the politicians, that's what they want. You can divide yourself from your brothers, from your sisters, from all the bad guys and all the good guys and whatever. You can separate yourself from all of this. That's what they want. It is about unity. It is about understanding. It is about awareness. Frequency is what everything in existence is made of. There is no such thing as solid. All of this is an illusion. Everybody's talking about an illusion. Everybody's talking about the matrix. That's what it is. The things that we see around us, the things that we can sense within this 3D reality, is not reality. It is a fraction of what is in existence, what we exist within, and what we are. We are a fractal. This, my body and this mind in here is a fractal. We are so much more. We are infinite. We are a part of God. We are God's army. And don't you forget it. You are wearing the armor of God. They have nothing on you. Nothing can touch you. You are divinely protected. There are armies behind you. We are God's army. We are the frequency that will starve them. We are here to hold and emit this frequency. The rest will come. The rest will wake up. We are all doing this together, collectively. Do not let them separate you from the rest. Doubt, fear, anger, anxiety, scarcity. It's not real. It feeds them. It is an illusion. It is there to give them a habitat for existence. Take away their frequency. Take away the habitat. Take away the LOOSH. Take away that frequency they exist within, and it will be gone. They will be gone. All they need is for you to feed them. Starve it. We are here to do this. Let's do it. I love you. I'm grateful for you. We are in this together. We came here for this. The ancients knew. We know. Deep within, we know. We heard the call. We came here for this. And so it is. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.